In 2000, the presidential election between George W. Bush and Al Gore was the most prominent piece of discussion for America, and even in a lot of other countries in the world as well. It's a race to see who will receive the title of leader of a country that's considered to be a world power. It's a tough race, where smart use of advertisement is critical for success. One form of such advertisements were TV commercials. In one of those commercials, where a man was praising Bush's prescription policy and scored Al Gore's, something interesting was going on. It was noticed by an alert individual who figured he saw something flicker, though he wasn't sure what. When he played the commercial in slow motion, it became clear. When the commercial talked about how Al Gore's prescription policy was beneficial for bureaucrats, for 1/30 of a second the word RATS appeared capitalized on screen, not explicitly noticeable in the advertisement itself. And this instance wasn't the first use of subliminal messaging, a phenomenon where words or images that aren't consciously processed are used to influence decisions, attitudes or behaviors of people. This is done by providing a message in a time frame that's too short to be picked up consciously. Or, the processing is inhibited because the individual is still processing something else. The last variant is also known as attentional blink. Subliminal messages used to be a highly controversial topic as it deemed by some to be a form of mind control. But studies suggest that even though it does have an impact, it's not nearly as prominent as people once thought. Aronson put that using subliminal messaging to prevent smoking works just as good as visiting an astrologer or using hair oil. It doesn't work. But that's not to say it can't influence you. It can. But it will not have an influence on major things where you expect it to sway an opinion. It cannot influence you to do anything you do not want to do. Direct marketing works way better than subliminal marketing there by quite a long shot. Okay, but then what is the use case? Well, preferably none, as no one wants to be manipulated. But a study I found interesting did something that I did find a fair use case. They used a smell that closely resembled that of a cleaning supply, though not quite as potent. It was a fairly nuanced sweet scent that would prime the idea of cleaning to those who smelled it. Now this scent was used to fill up a restaurant. Using this scent resulted in less people leaving their place on the table and littering as opposed to a normal smell, because the idea of cleaning was put in their head. Is this manipulation? Well, yes, since you do influence behavior. Whether it's bad or morally questionable is up to the individual. Now this was it on subliminal messaging. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, till next time and see ya!